Our next session is Trembita as a key to digital transformation. We will have a great deal of experts today. Especially those experts that know Trembita every day. So this is the moderator for this session is Yurii Kopytin, Deputy Team Leader for EU for Digital UA. And I'm inviting Oleksandr Zakusylo, Director of the Directorate of Electronic Registers, Ministry of Digital Transformation. Oliver Väärtnõu, CEO and Chairman of the Management Board, Cybernetica. Nadiya Melnyk, Senior Infrastructure and Solutions Expert, EGA. And now I am introducing my preferred colleague. This is Oleksandr Ryzhenko, EU for Digital Component Leader, Institutional Strengthening and Capacity Development. They have all secrets about Trembita. Good day, colleagues. I appreciate to welcome you here. And first of all, I would like to make a small presentation on outcomes that the project made on Trembita development. First of all, I would like to say that you can ask questions to the panelists. You can make this through the Works App application, and all these questions will be asked to our speakers. And let's start. The first outcome done by the project in the Trembita direction is the access monitoring to personal data. This is an innovative solution that is providing every access to personal data through the Trembita system. This system can fix accesses to other personal data systems. What the project has done to implement this system. First of all, we've elaborated the technical infrastructure and the specifications. That was a baseline to develop the functionality of the system. The Estonian company Cybernetica elaborated a system of access to personal data, and together with our experts and with Cybernetica representatives, we installed the system component on our servers. To function properly, the system has been changed in terms of its legal framework. And we started in this way the creation of a subsystem for access to personal data. Besides, our experts changed the system functioning reglement, where we defined how the system should function and what should we do with this system. It's very easy to use this system, and we've implemented it for an easy usage from government institutions. It concerns especially the local and the central components. To start the system efficiently, we've elaborated instructions. These are installation instructions for local component administrators, for personal data protection, and a number of trainings have been conducted for the personnel operating this system. Our next steps are to pilot this project. And we've started this already. Our second great result is the Trembita 2.0 concept. This is a conceptual document, and this created an ideology for the development of this system for the years coming. We've built this concept on the basis of our experiences, and we involved recommendations, international recommendations in the field of protection. Let us see the key changes in the Trembita 2.0. First of all, this is the support for international cryptography standards. So we will use the IS algorithm for crypting. We will be having the multi-tenancy mechanism, and it will be useful for small organizations. This system can be easily used in cloud solutions. We will try to increase the productivity, the performance of the system. To develop this concept, we try to emphasize practical aspects. We elaborated a prototype of basic components for the Trembita 0.2 system. And so we created the Trembita 0.2 system. The third result is we have support for Cypher, MCSM. We updated the cryptography library. In this process, we are using open keys, and we added some other changes that were required by some Trembita participants. So what we have done with this gateway, updated gateway for safe exchange, we have a unified security platform server, and we organized an expertise for information protection for updated gateway. We received a conclusion from the Information Protection Service of Ukraine. Let's see what the project was doing to develop the Trembita system. First of all, this was the support for participants of Trembita system. This is a dynamic system. It is developing regularly. We are receiving feedback from our participants, and we received so our experts projected a functionality for this solution. What is this for a solution? The Trembita catalog is a technical solution that allows to store and to reflect system participants, also information about access from other state services. And this system allows to communicate with administrators to solve technical solutions, technical issues. The legal framework has been changed. I was talking previously about the resolution number 606. The new launch of the catalog has been conducted, so we simplified the process of getting access to the system. We've changed the system regulation documents. The catalog mentioned by me earlier was launched and elaborated previously. It had been done within another project. What we've done to support the Trembita system, we changed regular instructions used by Trembita participants, how they can use local components of this system. We've created instructions for testing services. We've created instructions how Trembita works, and we are conducting and we will be conducting workshops and trainings for Trembita system, and we are providing comprehensive support for the Trembita system. That's a short overview of our system, and I'm suggesting to go into discussion. We will have several discussion points, and first of all, we will talk about the outcomes of the EU for Digital UA project and how they impact the situation in Ukraine. And my first question goes on Mr. Oleksandr Zakusylo. He is director of the Directorate of Electronic Registers, Ministry of Digital Transformation. So, Ministry of Digital Transformation is a holder for the Trembita system and the most important user of this system. So can you tell us about your experiences with the Trembita system, and what can you tell us about the new catalog within the Trembita system? How can it build new opportunities for us? Thank you. Indeed, the role of digital interaction for modern countries is very important. It cannot be undervalued. To answer the Yuri's question, so all information that you can see at our website is a result of information exchange between different services and state institutions. So maybe many of you are acquainted with Malatko service, with ID services. Before the large-scale invasion, there was an opportunity to change residence places with these services. That's thanks to our work on these services. In the Trembita system, we have a unit, a new unit in the interaction of state services and in information exchange. The development of the Trembita system pushes the digitalization level of other state institutions. So Trembita can provide data to end consumers. Today I'm going to talk about the facilitating of processes that can be achieved with the Trembita system. We are grateful to the European Union that is financing this project. I hope that's enough to answer your first question. And now I'm going to answer your second question.
Its idea was generated a long time ago, and I'm glad that we can celebrate its implementation. And the catalog will be embodied as a possibility to exchange these processes which can be found in a state. This is sort of a public tool that allows to see data on a person, subsystemic data, and the data that some person exchanges with others. Such information can be interesting for those that intend to have some interaction with others, since this will allow you to see a format of interaction, technical and organizational as well. It goes without saying that for such huge service providers of data as the Ministry of Justice or the Tax Office, everyone is well aware of their functions and operations, but this catalog will also give them possibility to access this data. I'm sorry, but I will take some more minutes of your time to tell you more about this catalog. So it holds around 430 exchange services that should just simplify sharply access to data, taking into consideration the accomplishments through more reliable systems which allow data access, taking into account the EU cores for a one-time entry of data so that we will avoid multiple entries of data into multiple systems. Probably that's about all over. Oleksandr, thank you. Thank you for such a comprehensive feedback. And Oliver, now I've got a question to you. Kybernetics company is a developer of Trembita 2.0. What changes on the unified exchange platform do you expect? It's very interesting to hear from your international experience of using this platform in other countries.
Thank you. First of all, it's a great pleasure to be here in Kiev, in Ukraine. Thank you for e-Governance Academy for inviting me, and also friends from Ukraine. Yeah, like was already mentioned, Cybernetica has been the proud partner of the Ukrainian government for the development of Trembita since 2017. And the underlying infrastructure that Ukrainian Trembita is using is a product called Unified Exchange Platform that is running under the Trembita infrastructure. And that same platform actually is being used by around 15 countries around the world, where Cybernetica has then deployed it. In Ukraine, we are very, very proud of this long-term relationship, and it's one of the biggest installations of this unified exchange platform currently to date. At the end of last year, we also signed a contract with EGA, with the Ukrainian authorities, sponsored by the European Commission again, to develop the next phase of Trembita, the so-called Trembita 2.0. And the focus for that big development for us is basically the scalability. We're putting a lot of effort into achieving the scalability targets that have been set to us because of the fact that Nadiya, as your national app, has become so popular. There is so much, so many transactions that are coming through it. We need to put a lot of focus on the scalability of the infrastructure. We've, like was mentioned by Yurii in the beginning, we've done pilots. So we believe that these scalability targets will be met. We're also talking about multi-tenancy here, cloud service compliancy, and also bringing in new encryption algorithms for the security of Trembita 2.0. The developments are going currently according to plans, and we are looking at finishing from Cybernetica side our works, I think in Q3, Q4 this year, from whereupon we have to focus on the local certification of the product for the usage of Ukraine. When we talk about longer product roadmap of the unified exchange platform, then scalability is a big topic for Cybernetica, not only for Ukraine, but also for our other customers. We are currently working together with Brazil, which is 215 million people, which is looking at adopting also unified exchange platform as their interoperability platform. In fact, next week I'll be in Sao Paulo, and part of these discussions will be initiated there. So a lot of focus on scalability. We need to we have to have this unified exchange platform as a platform that can really service huge amounts of data and users. Second topic that we are currently working a lot is providing additional modules to the unified exchange platform infrastructure. Here we have been talking about access trackers, so individuals can see who have accessed their data. That is fundamental for achieving trust when deploying these kind of services. But we have also worked in Cybernetica on tools like consent management, which we have deployed to Japan, and we are looking at providing other kind of privacy preserving trust tools to the ecosystem. Also, quick deployment tools, connectors, all kinds of things that enable the setup of the infrastructure in a very, very quick way, and also the adoption from different organizations' point of view. So with very, very great ease, you can create digital services to get yourself connected onto UXP infrastructure or Trembita infrastructure. And finally, Cybernetica, at the end of the day, is a company that builds secure digital infrastructures, and security is an absolute must for us. Everything we do is basically bearing in mind the security aspects of our technologies. So we're investing a lot into the security of our product. We are already today working on using, for example, post-quantum encryption technologies for our infrastructure, meaning that when we have quantum computers that can break the encryption of the conventional cryptographic algorithm that we have today, our customers would be still secure. And we will probably roll out the UXP version with post-quantum encryption in the beginning of the next year. So these are the ideas, or these are the topics that we are working on in Cybernetica. We are very much committed to supporting Ukraine in the journey, very proud of our relationship here, and hopefully this will be a very, very long relationship between us. Thank you.
Thank you, Oliver. Наступне питання до пані.
Nadiya, the next question goes to you. It took us long as a project to create access to personal data. It took us nearly 3 years. So it's very interesting to hear what type of technological solution it is, or what will it give to citizens and authorities as well. Nadiya, the floor is yours. Thank you very much for your question. Speaking about the basis for access to personal data, Trembita is one of the platform enabling this. This platform secures storage of personal data, access to data, and exchange of this data among the state bodies in providing electronic services and in delegation of services which they were authorized with. So Trembita will fix each incident, each fact of access, and in the future it will notify on such access in case of accessing personal data. And in the very near future, the Ukrainian will be able to get push notifications in FIIAPP, and it will also read what type of authority requested this data and what was the purpose of it. So speaking about the nature of this solution, it's absolutely innovative, since it was called to change or it was established to inspire exchange of data among citizens and state authorities, and those that had access to their personal data. It is about raising trust to state authorities and securing possibility of transparency in interaction with personal data. If to be brief, that's about that. Thank you, Nadiya. And the next question goes to Oleksandr Ryzhenko. Oleksandr, you were one of the initiators and pioneers of Trembita, and you are well aware of everything that is related to Trembita. How did attitude to Trembita change? What was your former attitude to Trembita, and how did it change with time? So it was developed for catering to the needs of the general public. So, and how did the system change with time? So thank you very much, Yurii. Probably I will start with the end while commenting on your final comments. So probably I would like to say a couple of things about FIIAPP and its assistance to Trembita. One of its tracks was normative support when we regulatively felt their support, and there was assistance granted in terms of developing regulations, and there was some regulation that was developed with their involvement. It was Regulation 196. Another interesting component that we possess is that we have collected the very good insight, and this is about protection of personal data. This involves consultancies with the eager experts, and this from the Ministry of Digital Transformation. We talked about building up a monitoring system of data exchange and the current legislation that involves protection of personal data. And the next area of concern where we also assist in bringing into life some informational systems. So that's a permit, for instance, and naturally this is planning and implementation of certain services where we look into possibilities of making this enablers function. So, and another point that's very interesting is that many things like module for monitoring of personal data that has taken us 3 years to develop proves that Trembita is a rather fundamental system, and it serves as a baseline for the build-up of multiple electronic services, without which these services, if we didn't have a Trembita in place, could bring in more expenses and much more time. So this means the Nadiya app and Nadiya web portal also help in the implementation of e-services, but Trembita is the baseline that is not always visible to the general public, and quite not always the state authorities trusted to Trembita. And the major changes that we experienced with Trembita is building trust to it. So if to take the very beginning as of the moment of initiating the system, quite competent representatives of the state authorities that were to use applications normally had some doubt about Trembita and suspicions, but today we have already overcome this border, and this means that today no one speaks nothing but trust. Trust has been won, and today we can easily bring into life all these solutions, and well, we will see trust just everywhere, absolutely everywhere. And speaking about the Estonian colleagues from the Estonian Academy of E-Governance, They demonstrated success stories and case studies where personal data can be deployed so that the state authorities could access this data. And such cases were shown where some officials which illegally accessed some data had to bear some responsibility for that. Emerged this sort of dream for the Ukrainian. But now we can see how these dreams come true, again, with the support of the Estonian Academy for E-Governance, and the monitoring of personal data is ongoing. And I believe that the next iterations that will allow to become for Trembita not only a platform for exchange of data and e-services, but that will be a tool for the Ukrainian citizens to understand that it helps to track their privacy and how their personal data are deployed in the state registers and state systems. Thank you. Oleksandr, thank you. And my suggestion is to switch to the second module of questions. Everyone is interested in what is gonna happen out of Trembita. So, and Oleksandr, question goes to you. What is about the future of Trembita? What is to expect in the near future? Thank you very much for your question. I have partially covered your question in my presentation. Probably at that, I will stress one thing. Trembita 2.0 that is being developed at the moment will not stay still. While it was developed, we collected requests and feedback from users to understand what can be improved, and we responded to these feedbacks and requests. So we looked into the pace and the way of transportation of data, and in terms of administrative functional for interfaces where information is exchanged. We also undertook an effort to optimize the work. So, and today we improve the current interface to enable work with it, and it also envisages transition and expansion of transition to new way of life, and expansion of the current modules, and these are key issues which we aim at achieving throughout the transformation. Oleksandr, thank you very much. And Oliver, now the next question goes to you. Quite often in Ukraine we experience difficulties in upgrade of systemic components, and this is related to security certificates. Did your company Cybernetica looked into the possibility of getting international standards?
Yeah, we have. Looked at basically certifying our unified exchange product according to common criteria regulations. But at the current moment, these discussions inside the company are still ongoing. So there are two or maybe three considerations that I would like to highlight here. So first of all, when we look about product certification, we have to look at the national contents where we deploy it. Currently, when we talk about, for example, deploying UXP that is certified by common criteria certification bodies into Ukraine, we don't have the full clarity whether this would be enough for this product to be deployed easily into Ukraine. That's number one consideration. Second consideration, of course, is the cost. Cybernetica knows very well how much common criteria certification costs. For example, we have developed the Estonian national digital identity solution called Smart ID. Inside Smart ID, we have we are using split key technology, which is common criteria AIL4+ certified, and the certification process for this technology took about a year and added very significant costs. And today, when we talk about an interoperability solution like UXP or Trembita, we are not sure that this cost is justified for our partners. Maybe there are certain elements inside the UXP, like the signatures, like the time stamping, certain modules that can be certified according to these very high security standards. And this is something that we are studying. Thirdly, what we believe in is actually in Cybernetica, in case of UXP product, we believe in agility. So when you look at the roadmap that we have published to our partners, we have about 3 releases of the UXP platform per year. When we would certify the whole product, it would make it very hard to do these quick releases of the technology. So what we have considered inside the company is that maybe each major release will be certified, and rather than these upgrades will not be certified, but that again doesn't give you full guarantees that the whole solution is certified. So this is something that we are constantly considering and following. Strangely enough, currently Ukraine is the only country that has required security certification for this technology. For example, in Japan, Malaysia, Brazil, we haven't had, which are our biggest customers currently, we haven't had these discussions, but they might come up. So we're definitely following these things inside the company, doing the analysis. Probably our partners in Ukraine will be the first partners to know when we are moving on that track.
Дякую, Олівере. І я бачу, що у нас надійшла дуже велика кількість запитань, на які може нам
I see that we have many questions from our audience, and we will be probably not able to manage them. Some of them I will be trying to answer by myself. So this is a very specific question. We need at least one interaction. Sometimes it can happen that we need from 7 to 8 interactions to provide one electronic service. This was the easiest question. Further, we have more complicated questions. How many transactions can Trembita 2.0 can have? So what's the Trembita rapidness capacity right now? Can you, Mr. Oleksandr, answer this question? Yes, we should raise our feasibility study. So the next question is about, do you have plans to transfer all interactions on the basis of usage the Trembita 2.0 system? Do you have plans to use this system in all governmental institutions? Now I've got why you've invited me here. So let's talk about the Trembita 1.0. This is being implemented pretty long, and its implementation is based on 2 large factors. This is the information transition, and Trembita was verified in this sense. So secret documents are not transited through the Trembita system. There are special systems for their transitions. So there are services where we should consider whether we can use the Trembita system technically. But we can improve this, Mr. Oleg. Am I right? I hope I answered your questions. Thank you, Mr. Oleksandr. And the next question is to Ms. Nadiya. Do you have great cases for interaction based on the Trembita system? But this concerns non-public services. These are doctor declarations, health declarations. Maybe all citizens have touched these services. So the information exchange goes through registers on the basis of the Trembita system. Now we have many services for interaction in the Oberik system. Oleg could probably help me to cover this topic. These are such topics as there is household on the basis of citizens' applications, verifications are being conducted. So these are some services to mention. There are some complicated questions for a subsystem of personal data monitoring. Is there an officer for personal data protection in the Trembita system? There is no such positions in the subsystem because the personal data administrator doesn't have access to personal data. But in the future, we can have some models for responsible persons that are responsible for personal data in Ukraine. If our citizens start to argue that somebody can apply for their data, so what should you do? Through the Nadiya application, our citizens can see who has applied their personal data and for what reason. Then in each institution there are officers responsible for data protection, and they could explain, I hope, why an access to personal data has been applied. One more question.
And what's happened if one node of Trembita system will be compromised? What's really happened?
One node of, so that means that if one security server will be compromised, well, first of all, this Trembita ecosystem is a decentralized ecosystem. So that means that all the transactions are not through one central hub. It is rather between two organizations. So if one node is compromised, that means that only the transactions that go through or that are part of, are taking from this node will be compromised. It will not affect the whole Trembita ecosystem. That's what theoretically could happen. But practically, it will never happen because the system is uncompromisable. Thank you.
Thank you, Oliver. І ще одне невеличке питання до пана Олександра.
Thank you, Oliver. One more question to Mr. Oleksandr. What services are you going to implement as FIIAPP organization based on the Trembita system? As said previously, we have an approval system with the usage of Trembita services. And I hope that our project can help in communicative way to implement Trembita services to access to personal data monitoring. We are short of time, and that's a pity, but we can make a small wrap-up. So Trembita is a heart of the digital country. You've heard many issues today which component can arise in the next days. And you've heard about the catalog that has been launched. You've heard about technical solutions for registers. And we received many interesting questions, and I would like to thank everybody for that. I would like to thank to the panelists and to the audience that you find time to participate in these sessions in such a hard time for our country. And I'm giving the floor to our moderators.